Welcome to La Vida in Atlanta. This is the Health and Wellness Show. My name is Rafael Escoto. My guest today, Cathy Burroughs, bring great contribution to humanity. She is a personality that had tremendous amount of wisdom that I just love to spend time with you.
Oh,
Yes, I love to spend time. Even though I'm bringing my third book next month, and I'm pretty excited about that, Cathy. But before I talk to you about that, tell me a little bit about you, and tell me a little bit about the modalities that you're going to be teaching at your events, which is the 25th and 26th.
right. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. It's great to be here, and I really appreciate it. I've been a psychic since I was a little girl. I could read energy, past, present, future, and I became sort of universally recruited about 20 years ago, where I had a whole nother career path, and the universe sort of said, "We want you over here," and the universe and my guides and angels kind of taught me how to read energy. And in the workshop, I share with people my toolbox of all the different tools that I was trained to do, which include the tarot, which include astrology, which include teaching how to read past, present, future, using reading objects called psychometry, working with past lives, healing, medical intuition, remote viewing. So all the different tools that I've been taught will incorporate into the workshop so people can then do readings for themselves and others and help get in touch with their guides, their angels. I also have some wonderful guest teachers who will be doing mediumship, channeling, crime, psychic. So it's a very rich weekend. Some people have called it life-changing, that they really feel empowered and really more in tune with their own intuitive gifts.
Cathy, I would tell you that most of us need to go into that workshop.
Oh,
Yes, I mean, we go out and spend money for vacation, and we spend time outside a lot, but not attending to a workshop in which we're going to bring something.
Yeah.
It's going to bring some change,
right.
some wonderful changes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For very little money. Okay. You're purchasing this knowledge, which is extremely important, especially how we living today. If you can just elaborate just a little bit
Sure.
about the what are you expecting for people to take from that?
Well, we all have a team of angels and guides that work with us, and this workshop will help you access those guides and angels so you can receive the information you need for your own path, for your own development, for your own capacity to realize your highest potential. So that means accessing past lives and understanding greater your purpose here, learning how to read energy, how I can access the future. I share that with people, how to use astrology, the tarot, healing clearing, medical intuition, how to work with the lunar cycles, how to manifest through your intent by creating ceremony, and it's all in a wonderful, very rich package. So people feel recharged and rejuvenated, revitalized, and empowered. I have some people that take the workshop over and over because they get so much out of it as a kind of spiritual retreat.
But I would like to know.
Sure.
I would like to know this.
Yeah.
That knowing thyself, isn't that a necessity to go to your workshop, understanding, being awakened to spiritual, to have those assets,
Yeah.
and then bring what you're teaching?
Well, we're all at different points in our lives, in our evolution. Some people are very tuned into themselves. Some people don't have a clue who they are. Some people want to develop their own gifts to take it to another level. So this workshop will address wherever you're at in terms of your own development. If you're lost and confused, it'll help you get greater clarity about who you are, your true identity. If you're on a path and you want to enhance your capacity, you'll have the capacity to do that.
So in other words, is we have many traps not permitting us to be able to see and visualize and knowing who we are, because what we do, we live in the mind and the world of the mind, and the mind can just drive you crazy because of the memory. The mind is intimately connected to the memory, and so is the brain. And retrieving that information from the brain is 60,000 thoughts that we're processing a day, and that can drive us crazy.
Well, the idea is that there's nothing in our society that really supports our intuitive development. We go to school, we have our families, we learn all kinds of things that help us function in society, but we don't really get a lot of support for our spiritual or intuitive selves. And this is a place to really have that supported and developed and accessed in a way that you don't normally find in day-to-day life.
I see. In my book, okay, I have the introduction, which is, it talks about imprisonments.
The what?
Imprisonments
Okay.
that exist in planet Earth. Then it goes back to tell that, yes, we can have a great life if we can have lifestyle. So that's how I open it up. I open it up and say, I have another chapter that says 28 minutes. In that 28 minutes is very much communicating with God, visualizing your day, doing Tai Chi, making up the bed, cleaning up. And I experience, I go doing some meditation, okay, putting some music. 28 minutes is mean that I can guarantee you, when you finish that 28 minutes, you uplift, you feel good, and you're ready to do good, because everything is energy, and you got some of this energy, and it's ready for you to have a great day.
Well, I think, firstly, I really encourage people who want to develop themselves spiritually to always have a spiritual practice and to create rituals and learn how to manifest with intention. And the more you are in alignment with your power, your truth, your higher self, your guides, your angels, the more you have the capacity to manifest your dreams, your goals, to live in alignment with your highest potential. So I think it's case by case. I think those tools are wonderful, and I always encourage people to find and shape their best way that they can manifest their dreams and their desires. And this workshop provides you with about 30 very specific tools that will enable you to do that.
Yeah. Well, I can see, just talking to you and listening to what you have to say, I can see that kind of integrate that power, that energy that we need. It's like it's interconnect. It's like from the quantum field, the molecules, the atoms, and all these things comes into the body and work with all the organs, and then we'll work with the form and the formless.
Yeah, and and one of the things we teach in the workshop is healing clearing, and in the healing clearing we work on the molecular level, the mitochondrial level, the inner child, the past life, the previous incarnations, multidimensional, higher self, karma, vows, oaths. So there's all these different levels that we're operating on simultaneously as a human being, and it's quite a complex thing, and these tools will help you integrate and work with all those different dimensions very effectively, very smoothly, and in alignment with your highest self.
Yeah. I would say, Cathy, that as I see the problems of life, it's far beyond us. And my book that's coming out, I'm saying 12 powerful forces in there. First, knowing thyself. Second, living the now. so we can eliminate these memories, retrieving these memories, because they bring a lot of problems. And mindfulness, practicing mindfulness, practicing humility, practicing the worst fear of all is boredom, that yes, you can fulfill that, some of that, by having a passion, your work, your passion, very passionate about it, and living on purpose. Those who take a great deal of time, we still be bored, but then we have small pockets of playing tennis or golf and cards and dominoes. I play that keeps me busy. So that's 12 powerful points. When you actually practice just a little bit and learn them and master them, you on the path of success.
Well, I feel, and what you learn in the psychic development workshop, I feel like if we're in love with life, if we have a passion about our life, if we're engaged with our life, and we have lots of dreams and goals and desires, that our life will be that much more fulfilling and technicolor. And the more you develop your intuitive gifts, the more your alivedness quotient gets activated.
Yeah, well, I can just feel that, because you know what? I'm an interior designer and fashion. I started fashion, and I thought I was really in love with my field. But I know now that life evolves. You go into one cycle to another.
Yes, different chapters.
I'm feeling I'm involved with teaching. Teaching Buddhism, and I know I feel that I do not want to be a minister, temporary minister, but I'm enjoying tremendously, because every time I can sit down with people and show them how they can be traveling, in what directions, what they're missing. And it's like you say, you come to my workshop, you will be taking something precious that you're going to be incorporating, and you're going to be dropping the things that have been in your life before that it's not working. You found better things.
Well, I think that's part of the wisdom when you develop your psychic gifts, your intuitive gifts. You have the wisdom to have a sense of timing about your life. This is my chapter to do interior design, and this is my chapter to do writing and teaching, and then this is my chapter to do, and that our lives become very evolutionary and really full. And this tool will help empower each person to do that.
Okay. I'd like to ask you this here. It's something that I've been very, very convinced and very powerful about it. Is that when we are not missionary, when we are not in our mission, we are not, and when we are not giving as a human, giving just means love. Love that can solve all the problems, and I feel this. I feel that that is working with me, because I love to see other human prospering, and walking in a positive way, because, hey, there's so much suffering and pain that you suffer yourself just watching another human being.
Sure.
Okay? How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel we all come into this lifetime with what I call karma. Good qualities and more difficult qualities. Family challenges, relationship challenges, financial challenges, mood challenges, physical challenges. And the more empowered we are, the more in alignment with our true self, and the more we find a fulfilling spiritual practice that helps us overcome it, the more we have the capacity to realize why we came to this incarnation, what lessons we came to learn, and what are our objectives. But yes, I totally believe we all have a mission, and living in alignment with that mission is a really fulfilling way to live.
Yes.
And absolutely, the toolbox that you'll learn in this workshop will help animate and activate and access that sense of selfhood. And that mission can evolve too and develop as we evolve and develop as well.
Yes. And what I said, live in the now. Today will be your last day. So why
Yes,
not
I
getting
think
up with
that's
us 28 minutes and practicing these 28 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
The 12 powerful points, you don't need to practice because it's already there. We are talking about very possible living in between two worlds. Living in a spiritual world because you're looking down to the planet Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that that there are some things that's not working very well. So,
I had an astrology mentor, Margie Herskovitz, who used to say, we're down here in school, that we're spiritual beings in human bodies, that we came into this lifetime with these set of circumstances to learn very specific things, overcome very specific things. And the more our wisdom and intuition and our power as a person is fully activated, the more we can fulfill our destiny in terms of our incarnational purpose, which I think is in alignment with what you said as well.
Yes, it's what I was saying. It is, I feel that if I can be a contributor, bring some contribution to
Yeah,
humanity,
and
give money if I have money, help people.
Yeah, in terms
so
of
many ways.
being contributory, I think each person has their own area that they're here to contribute. For example, I, as a psychic and teaching psychic development, feel like I'm here as a catalyst to help people awaken to their purpose.
Yeah,
By example and by the tools that I can share.
Don't you think that we came here for only one reason? And that reason is to serve.
I have a little different perspective. I think that's a very meaningful approach, and I really appreciate people that are serving and have a sense of service. I think that's a wonderful way. But everybody has to honor their own unique, what they're here for. And I don't think we can get locked into it's one thing or there's one way. I think it's very creative actually to be a human and be alive. And it's mysterious. And it's an evolving journey, and it's a story. We don't know the end of the story. Sometimes we think we know it because we have our gut feeling and our intuition and our sense, but then life throws us a curveball. So I love the mysterious aspect of life as well.
Well, as I see, life has mystery, has so many traps, but we're here to develop ourselves, to expand.
That's right. Yes, agreed.
And to train ourselves, and that has to happen daily.
Day-to-day life. Yeah, that's
Day-to-day
our
life.
arena. That's our arena that we're playing it out. I read once that very prosperous people, they don't make long-term goals. They really make minute-to-minute goals. They're trying to make their life meaningful and full on a moment-to-moment basis. And when I approach my life in that way, I become increasingly productive and engaged, and that can be very helpful as well.
I find it fascinating that we have to be busy in life, and be productive.
Yeah.
And we have to find our niche, our passion, where we belong.
And I feel that our passions, what we resonate to, what we feel guided to do, what we feel like, that's the way our guides, our angels, our team communicate with us. Sometimes it'll be through you'll see a repeating number, or sometimes you'll have a recurring thought, or sometimes you'll turn on the radio and a particular lyric will mean for you. This is the way the universe finds ways to get through to you. And I love that process. And again, that psychic development will give us more and more access to all those messages. Our guides, our angels, our team, our ancestors are all trying to get through to us and have our back and push us, propel us to fulfill our journey.
Why we make this life so complex, and one of my chapters is that we need to simplify life. We need to don't take it so seriously, don't and
Well, I think everybody's wired differently. Some people are philosophers, and some people are very complex, very deep, and they're really concerned with the larger questions of life. Other people are doers and activators and get things done, and other people are storytellers and artists, and I think we need to respect our own purpose and our own how we're wired and what we're here to fulfill. You know, I love the quote of the writer Margaret Atwood. She was asked, she said, "Isn't being a writer a selfish way of living?" And she said, "I think being alive is a selfish prospect." In other words, we've got to protect our own rights
Right,
as an
right,
individual to
right.
express ourselves and be true to ourselves.
Yeah.
We can't be doctrinated that it has to be one way, there's one correct way. That can be very oppressive to people. So I think I love the psychic development path because it helps people realize their potential in alignment with who they are, what their purpose is. There's no one right way in that regard.
I think we going over time, Cathy. Thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
I would love to have you back.
Well, thank you. I
And,
appreciate that.
Okay, I'm always learning from you. I'm looking up to you. Okay.
Oh,
And I wish
you
you
don't
success in your workshop.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Rafael Escoto. Thank you.